For the opening keynote at a recent sustainability summit for a trade association, I was asked to answer the question, what is sustainability? Ahead of the event, I was trying to get a feeling for why the organizers chose this particular question. It felt like an obvious question, one that's surely been answered a million times over. One of my mentors, Simon X, says, rule number one is don't make assumptions. So, following his advice, I started to think again about the history of sustainability movement, the common definition that most people quote, and the use of the term itself. What I found is the fact that it seems such an obvious question and appears at first sight to be basic is precisely why it's an assumption that turns out to be wrong. You see, although millions of people think they've read or been taught and understand what sustainability is, the more I thought about it, the more I realized it's pretty much all old, regurgitated, recycled, and reframed, so-called received wisdom from the past that's still being repeated. And the trouble is, these tired old ways of framing this vitally important topic have become a big reason why we're even less sustainable today than we were 4 decades ago, when the word was first used in the context of the ways we live and work and how they've become unsustainable. You see, words matter, and I've concluded that we're making fatal assumptions about the use of this word, incorrectly thinking we're communicating clearly and accurately, when in reality, we're talking right past each other, assuming we're communicating effectively with the same meaning and understanding. But we're not. We use simplistic visual representations of these complex concepts that fail to describe the real world and fail to provide a useful, practical framework for actually applying sustainability thinking and principles into the normal operations of a business. We conflate words and phrases as if they're the same thing, when they're different, often very different. Sustainability isn't sustainable development. Sustainability and sustainable development are not sustainable business. You say tomato, I say tomato. Even if we're saying it with different pronunciations, we still know we're communicating about the red fruit that goes in salads and on burgers. But with sustainability, no matter how you pronounce it, we can't assume we are operating with the same definitions. And now, even worse, AI is amplifying this same old stuff, repeating simplistic sound bites over and over and over again that don't provide you with any real clues about how to go about implementing sustainable business growth. One of the biggest reasons most businesses can't transform into sustainable businesses, even if they want to, is that they don't know what sustainability is and is not. So, request access to the private video from my recent Sustainability Summit opening keynote presentation by submitting the short form opposite.